The mic gets me every time. Hiya, kids. How are you? You know what? I am so distracted by everything that is going on in my world. It is great to see you. Carla, I see you. So we are streaming not only to YouTube, we're also streaming to Facebook, and we're streaming to the Psychic News Report, which is my other channel that I have. So that channel is on hiatus. I had a group of psychics and mediums and astrologers, and we would do the daily news, and we're just restructuring that. But I figure we'll keep it alive a little bit longer. It's got some subs over there. So people are subbed over there, want them to jump in and have some fun. So this is our members only chat, members only group. So we are going to be taking requests from our members. You guys can pose whatever questions you want. You are members. I thank you for it. And this is your time to get your own reading. So we're going to kick it off real quick with Tani. Tani would love some messages from spirit guides. Let me get rid of this announcement. I don't know why it is telling me this. Okay, that's fine. All right. I've got StreamYard tell me. Oh, I have a cool StreamYard thing. Wait till you see this. We've got a new feature. You ready? They added sounds. So I have to play around with it a little bit more, and but we can applaud people. We can boo. Oh. So let me know what you guys think of those. They're super fun. Super fun. Oh, okay, Tani. Okay. Tani. Let's get some messages here. What, honey?
Sorry.
What'd you say?
I heard the name Tani. What's David Coverdale to do?
Oh, no, it's not Tawny like Tawny.
Oh, okay.
It's Tani. Tani. Oh, thank you, Tani. I am struggling with my hair. I desperately need to get my hair done. I am fighting with it, and you can see I've got some sparkles showing. I actually have a lot of sparkles showing. Steven is going to not be happy with me. Oh, there's a drink called Tawny. Okay. Greg was talking about Tawny Catane because he's a maniac. Hi, Karen Cultis. Remember, guys, drop your questions. Lady of the Lake, absolutely. You can ask a question like that. What is going on here? There we go. All right. I really wish. By default, it is friends. You know what? Let me fix one thing on here. We are going to remove that. Save changes. Oh, thank you. So I had a bunch of pop-ups on my screen and I had to get rid of them. Hi, Drusilla. Hi, Drusilla. I'm glad you had an early day for the holiday. It's Thursday. So a lot of people, we have a holiday weekend, guys, and a lot of people take Friday off to do their traveling. So love a message from spirit guides. Let's see. Oh, I didn't bring up the cards yet. Good morning, Juanita. Good to see you, darling. Good to see you. Greg is over there whistling Debbie Harry's Maria, but to the name Juanita. Juanita. I can't sing like Debbie Harry at all. So I think I'm going to ring that gong, Margaret, when Greg comes on the scene.
Really?
Like long duck dong.
Uh-huh. Hey, you gotta do the gong after you say the name, though.
I have to do the what?
You have to ring the gong after you say the name.
Oh,
Long duck dong.
Long duck dong. we can try with Gregopedia. Gregopedia. Oh, Gregopedia. Oh my god, so much fun. We're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna add some more. All right, Connie. So we need some direction from the spirits here. Need some direction. Thank you guys for hitting that reaction over there. That reaction button, believe it or not, does really help the algorithm. So I found that out from my good friend Barney over at Midlife Bro Logic. And if you guys
He
keep
has a new channel now.
Oh, he does?
Yeah,
Really?
because the other one was
Funky.
yeah. So
Okay.
I think he started a new one.
All right. Let's go, Tani. Things are not at an end. So the Page of Cups. Page of Cups forges new relationships. Oh, Zeph, do you? I'm not even subscribed to it. So if you have it, I will hit that link myself. The Page of Cups directs emotion. He sees the object of his affection and starts to move toward it. He is not as overt and aggressive as our Knight of Cups. Our Knight of Cups runs right in and he's like, woohoo, here I am. The Page of Cups is very quiet and sweet from afar and trying to catch the eye of the individual that or the thing that he is trying to attract. I want to subscribe to Barney here. Subscribe. I'm in. Good looking logo there. It's a good looking logo there. Just want to say that. Where is our live? There we go. We're back there. Okay. So the thing that you want, happiness, success, all of those things, they are in your sight. You need to become the Knight of Cups, where you go out and you get that thing. Lovers in reverse. Six of Wands, Nine of Cups in reverse, Empress in reverse, Four of Swords in reverse. There's the Eight of Swords. So this and the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom. When you are crafting a better future for yourself, throw out all of your expectations. So if you say, well, I've tried that before and it didn't work. So someone who maybe goes into business for themselves, maybe the first time they get a car wash, maybe the second time they get a liquor store, maybe the third time they get a restaurant. Good morning, Dave Murphy. It's good to see you in the chat. The idea behind throwing out the reasons, learn from the mistakes, learn from things that didn't work. So if you tried to do and pick an item, pick an accomplishment. Dave, we just got started, boo-boo. Don't you worry. Pick an accomplishment. If there were failures in that, you learn from the failures. You take the experiences and apply them to the next one. They could be different businesses, different aspects. You could take a lesson that you learn from a failed business and apply it to a relationship and vice versa. You could take a interpersonal interaction that you had with one of your children and apply that to a coworker. Those lessons are not dubious and distinct to the main goal, the end goal of what you're doing. So I want you to kind of do like a review of all of the things that you've tried to accomplish that didn't go in the direction that you wanted, and make a list of the things that you learned from those. Make a list of the things that worked. You're going to apply those again. It is not for lack of luck and effort that you are failing. It is because of the lack of application to future endeavors. So I want you to try that. You've got the power. You really do. You have the ability to create that, but you are stuck in a way of thinking. And I get it. Like when we're handed failure after failure after failure, it can get really hard to kind of restart and try that thing one more time. When I was actually fired by the gentleman, and I'm using that term lightly, that I did my apprenticeship with dog training. I went off to a formal school for 8 weeks, but I was working for him, and I had to take the mistakes that he made and apply them to my business, because he actually left the kennel and I got a space after the owner loved me and was like, you can have this space for free. I had to take those lessons and the mistakes that he made, because I was there working for him for over a year, and apply them. And the first thing I did was I paid my apprentice really, really well. I was making $30 a day when I worked for him. It was actually pretty terrible. So, it is really important to take those lessons and apply them. We don't go through life and learn nothing. We go through life and we learn lots of things. Cindy, mine were really bad yesterday and today. I did have to take my allergy medicine. I think tonight I may have to take a Benadryl because I'm feeling itchy. I am feeling itchy and titchy. So, Tani, I hope that helps. I'm gonna flip it on over. Thanks for your question to Lady of the Lake. Lady of the Lake, how are you, my friend? Margaret, I see your question. I tagged it. You are welcome, Tani. You are welcome. I get allergies for like a hot minute in the spring, and then in the fall they get so much worse. Like my fall allergies are like agony, and my spring allergies are like kind of negligible. They just kind of go through. Oh, you guys like my cup? Yeah, and then he threatened to sue me. I was like, for what? Why are you suing me? I don't have any money. He should have known that. No, he wanted to sue me for stealing his place of business, but he was $15,000 behind on the rent, and the owner was like, you got to go. He just didn't pay it. So too bad. So sad. Unfortunate for him. Lady of the Lake. Knight of Cups. Cindy, I can ask that. I can ask you that. So, Lady of the Lake, I do think that you are going to be able to find work. I don't know if it's working from home. I'm going to pull a few extra cards on this. It is a rescue mission, but I have a feeling that it's a position that you may have to start at in the office. So I'm not sure if this Chariot in reverse means no travel. The Knight of Cups, you don't like it, but let me see. We're going to pull some more. Yes. Okay. Yes, we do get a work from home job, but I don't think that you love it. And I do think that there's a training process that they're going to kind of put you through that seems tedious and almost unnecessary. I don't know why. They are going to treat you like a younger person, that like has never seen the light of day and has never walked out of the house. And I just think that that's the managing style. because they're going to want everybody to do the same thing, you know. So much nonsense. Time frame. Very, very soon. The Fool is imminent, but when it's in reverse, it's a little bit of a slower kind of reveal. I don't know if you've actually applied to a job. You need to look a little bit differently for this job. So change around your search words that you're looking for. I would almost take out the work from home. Not that it's going to give you a whole bunch of like office jobs, but it's going to kind of broaden up for those positions that maybe didn't put it in the keywords or didn't hashtag it. You'll be able to find it. I think if you remove the work from home part, you may get inundated with responses though, as far as your search engine, just because it's going to be a very broad search. I feel like once we get in there, you'll keep working with the agency. I think you should. Yeah, I think you should. Whoops, let me go backward. Let me see. Oh, for Pete's sake. Here, we're going to put that up. Working with the agency. Yes, stay working with the agency. Because it gives you options. So if either goes in a weird direction, you can make a move to one or the other. You don't have to kind of stay there miserable in one job, dependent on one. So I think that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Drusilla, Queen of the Smurfs. Drusilla. Whatever it is that you're trying to make a decision on, what I would do is make a list of pros and cons because you're getting stuck on the decision making process. You know, when we have to make a choice, at times we make it much more complicated than we need to make it for ourselves. That was my phone ringing. Sorry about that, guys. We start to think about all of the what ifs. We start to think about all of the nuance of making that decision. So for you, I really want you to make the decision based on streamlined facts and no emotion. So pro column, negative column, and you know, you're going to have 2 and 2 for whatever this choice is you have to make, because you're kind of unfolding it a lot more than you need to. You are giving into it very much. You're taking a lot of other people's considerations and feelings and emotions into it. Just do yours. Just do yours and you're going to be fine. Okay. What do you need to know? Give you some bravery on this. Ooh, I have to make another cup of tea. King of Swords, 7 of Swords. Make the decision before you commit. Okay, because this isn't something I want you to look back on and go, "Oh, I have a big R. I have a big regret." We definitely don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we have good stuff moving forward. A little essential oil for me. Hi, Rachel. How are you? So this is just a little bit of violet that I am hooking myself up with so that I stop yawning. Rachel, I need a cup of coffee. No, you guys have a cup of coffee where you are. So I really do want you to focus on decision making. Don't take other people's likes and dislikes into consideration. Just steamroll right ahead. Do you, darling? Do you? So, Margaret, we have got. Will my daughter find a nice place to live soon? I got your question, Dave, but how could you doubt that when we're right here? Juanita, I got you. Will your daughter find a place to live soon? Emperor. 9 of Wands. So she's not using a systematic approach to how she's looking for a place to live. She's using the same technique that everyone else is using. So years ago, it used to be, Juanita, I got your question too. Years ago, we used to just go into the newspaper and you look for apartments for rent and you would find your apartment for rent, or you would go drive around and you would find, yeah, Dave, I see that. So you would drive around, you'd find an apartment, you'd go into the management office and you'd say, "Do you have any availability? Can I fill out an application?" Blah, 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 blah. So your daughter needs to get a little bit more creative about how she's looking because she's running down the same path as everybody else. So if she needs to go the route of references, asking people like people where they live, is there any way you could get in there? Our friend Frank, it was a few years ago, he had to move back to town and he knew it was going to be temporary, and every single apartment complex in the area had a wait list a mile long. So what did he do? He knew a guy and he called a guy who knew the property manager that was in the office, made a phone call and got him bumped up to the top of the list. May sound dirty, but it's not. If you need a place to live, all's fair in love and war. Dismiss. We have 30 minutes to our public live. So by going through the same process and channels that other people are going through, she is on the back end of this. So she's finding out about places like after they're rented, after, they're already gone, after people have already gotten in there, they've got full capacity, or purchased. And if she's looking to purchase a place as well, I know I keep saying renting. I don't know why. I don't know if she's a renter at all. So have her explore some alternate ways of finding a residence. So if she has to employ an individual that looks for things for her, if she has to employ an AI device, something like that, absolutely she should do that. So will she find a nice place to live soon? Not yet. She has to revise the way that she's looking. I always say, read the cards, do the psychic stuff, but you still have to do the practical stuff. You can't just manifest all day long by wishing in one hand and not doing with the other. So, you have to sometimes do the heavy work. So, Margaret, I hope she finds a place to live. Cindy, I've got a few readings for you, doll, because I see all your what's going on here. Does Cindy spend too much time on YouTube? The star. This is an interesting card because the star, when we have it in the upright, is about planning for the future. I am reading it anyway, Cindy. I'm gonna keep reading for you. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Sit tight. Sit tight. So the star is about planning out our time, plotting out our time. So when the star is in the upright, we are planning out our time more efficiently. We are setting aside time where we can do things. All too often, it is easy to fall into a YouTube hole. A lot of us are watching our news, we're catching up on our celebrity stuff on YouTube. Like, I've actually had people that tell me they get their news from me, and I'm like, dear Lord, please don't do that, because like, I'm doing research and I'm getting the fun facts, the fact part of it, from other sources. So I think it's really important to get a variety of sources. I highly recommend Ground News. I am not endorsed by them or anything like that. Ground News is actually pretty cool. There's the what is it called, the gap feature, or the miss hit or miss feature, where they kind of show the news that you're watching through that app. They're showing like where you're missing some vital information that will balance out your perspective. Really is kind of a cool app. I do think it leans a little right. I think it is the antidote to the mainstream media manipulation of the news that we get. So I don't know, Dave Murphy, if I trust any of the mainstream news. Like, I just, some of those compilations that we've seen where they're all saying the same language is a little freaky to me. That's just a little bit weird. Little weird, guys. So, Cindy, I think maybe you're spending a little bit too much time on YouTube, but there is a fix for it. Now, you did post in here that September is going to be hard. You have a lot of grief first. Those of you that are lucky enough to not know what that is, when you lose a loved one, a pet, anything like that, the first year you hit a lot of mile markers that are tough. The first Christmas, the first birthday, those kinds of things. And it's not a pleasant experience to go through. It doesn't matter, if you have a pet or a spouse or a friend or something like that. You go through a lot of those things. So, Cindy, what can I give you to help you get through this month? So get out of the cycle of it. So what does that mean? So if you have always had the same Christmas tree in the same spot in your house, or menorah, or whatever your celebrations are, move it to a different spot. Maybe get some different ornaments. I know we have a lot of keepsake ornaments on our tree, and that can get kind of hard opening them. My one of the things that my mom had done, and we were really shocked, because my grandmother brought all of like our family ornaments over to my mom's house when she moved into her, and she moved in with my mom like in 1992, I think it was. Might have been 1991. But one year after my grandma passed away, my mom that Christmas went through all of it, and she got rid of a lot of, not the keepsake ornaments. She has those all boxed up, and she did pass those around to some family members. But the silly stuff, like the little plastic Santa who's like, yay, those were my favorite. I remember those. And it was, hi Deb. I was so upset when I was like, where's the little Santas, and she was like, oh, I got rid of them. They were just cheap from, years ago. And I was like, I loved those little guys. They were so cute. And I actually found them in the dollar store, and I found them in gold. And then I looked at another dollar store and I found them in the red that we had. So I have those on my tree. They're not the originals, but I do have those. So my grandmother also had a giant elf on the shelf. It was not an elf on the shelf back in the day, but he was a giant elf on the shelf. And she used to stick him up on one of the bookshelves or on the mantle. And my mom chucked that too. So, it was, it's a little bit hard. Save your stuff. Don't revamp all your Christmas ornaments, but maybe do a different tree this year. Maybe just do like a very stripped down tree. I know when I broke up with Angus's dad, I had like a big crazy Christmas tree. Like, Christmas is a lot of fun. I enjoy doing that. And so what I did was, when I moved into the condo, I got a very small tree and I made under the sea ornaments for it. So I made like these sea glass ornaments, and I made a garland that looked like seaweed. It was really cool. And that was the tree that my kids got, and it actually was a replacement of a tree that we had in that house. I had a little green tree. This one was a white tree. And that particular tree and all the ornaments had gotten ruined in Sandy because they were in the storage under the house. And so I recreated that. So it wasn't the big crazy tree. We didn't get the big crazy tree again until like the second year that I was out, or third year that I was out. So I changed up the tradition just so it was a little bit different for them. And it's that too is a period of grief, like when you have a marriage that breaks up, or maybe your kids move out. Like that's a year of grief as well. I had my moment of grief with my daughter at college yesterday. I wanted to have a cup of tea with her and she wasn't here. And I was like, rats. So I told her today, I go, we have to schedule time to have a cup of tea. Like, maybe not every day, but some days, have a cup of tea together, have a little FaceTime. So I think changing up your routines and your practices just for this year, just to get through it when the grief is not so raw, I think you'll be good. Here, now is not the time to look backward. Now, you can, it's terrible. Like when we have losses, like we think about our life before and we think about our life after. A lot of people, 9/11 here where we are in New Jersey, 9/11 was a pivot point. A lot of families have, their family before 9/11 and then after. And I think, we can honor that, our life before and after, but the year of first is kind of like a gray period. And we have one foot in each side. So, the process of going through that, I think is difficult. It gets less painful. It's one of the reasons I love the Jewish tradition of funeral services, of funerary, because the 8 days that we sit Shiva, the first few days, and I've said this before, everyone's crying and everyone is very intent, has very intense emotions. And then by the time you get to the end of that 8 days, we're laughing and we're telling stories, and we're telling silly stories. We're telling stories that we never had before. So it is, I think, one of the better processes. They also bury very, very quickly. So the funeral process starts very quickly, whereas in some other traditions, like for example, when Greg's best friend passed away, we did not have the funeral for several weeks, partially because his friend's widow was still COVID positive. It was a state funeral, so there was some organizing that had to happen, and there was some delay due to some indecision and some family issues. So that was a prolonged grief before we could actually get to the process and everyone could get together. So Cindy, we unfortunately know what you're going through, and I think a lot of people know what you're going through. So best thing you can do is just change up. some of those things. Schedule an outing with a girlfriend, celebrate your birthday with your son and family. I think all of those are good things. Just change it up just a little bit. And I think it's not going to cure it all, but like one of the I don't know if it was Fauna or Flora in Sleeping Beauty that said, I cannot undo the curse, but I can soften it. And that is something that changing up your routines. And don't feel bad, don't feel like you're forgetting. There are some people that lose a loved one and they go on like nothing happened. They just are very, very strong, and they just pick up and they just do whatever they need to do. So, what, honey?
Life is for the living.
Life is for the living, according to Gregopedia. So, life, according to Gregopedia, always the wise voice in the distance. So, Cindy, thank you for your contribution to the channel. I very much appreciate it.
I'm only 15 feet away from you.
What do you mean?
I'm only 15 feet away from you, not that far.
So, guys, we got a few minutes before. I've got 2 questions left, Dave Murphy and Juanita, and then I'm going to shut this down. Reason being, I'm going to go grab another cup of tea, and we are going to go right over to the general audience live. There is an automatic link. You should get tailed right in there. So I am hoping to see you guys over there at 5 after the hour, but I am going to have to get another cup of tea in my amazing Killing It cup, because I'm killing it. I had this it's a metal cup. I had this in my office, and everybody laughed because it was always on my desk and I never really used it. And they were like, why don't you use that cup? Like, it's an awesome cup. And I was like, because it's a weapon. All right. Dave, how is your holiday going to go here? Happy holidays. Are you singing it, Greg? Oh, you're whistling. All right, Dave. Dave, this is perfect for us. I got the lover's card, Greg. Secret lovers. According to some, those of you that don't know, Dave and I are having an affair. I actually dressed to distract him. Oh, I hope you're laughing, my friend. I hope you're laughing. I have like this crazy like Meghan Markle interview hair going on. Oh, I really want to wash my hair. I'm hating it. So Hangman, the Lovers. So the Lovers is about cooperation, getting together. So this looks really good. The Hangman is about learning from those past experiences that don't work. One of the things Greg and I have been in New York many, many, many times. We can't even agree how many Merriweather. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you. I am going to remember that. Yes, Dave, our secret is out. Our secret is out. But Greg and I, we know a few things about how to navigate around New York and how to get things done. So we're going to have to employ those lessons that we've learned from the past. So what's going to be under the surface? I think it's going to be a great trip. I am not even going to allow the possibility for it not to be a good trip. No transformation. So Dave, we're not going to be able to convince you to like move here or anything, even though I've got orange cats out the wazoo for you. 2 of Cups there. Again, this is us all coming together. Knight of Pentacles. I think you are going to love what New York has to offer. All I know is that I think we're going to be eating the whole time. I think we're going to be just like chowing down on food. And I will tell you, Greg loves the dirty water dogs. So perhaps the dirty water dogs are going to be of the order. And the 2 of Wands, we are going to be very sad at our parting. So what spirit do you need to have the best trip? Ace of Pentacles, be flexible on what we do. And what is an underlying thing we need to watch out for? Justice in reverse. That looks like the police. So we got to New York City. Shut up, lady. Dave, we're gonna send you a bunch of like funny New York stuff. Look at you guys hitting that react button. You are maniacs over there. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So Juanita, Dave, we are so looking forward to you coming in February. We're very, very excited about it. So Juanita, rehab from my injury at work. At not work. Will it be slow? Rehab from your injury. Rehab from your injury. Queen of Swords. 3 of Wands. So Juanita, you need to be a little bit more careful with it right now. So I have a herniated disc and at work. Okay, at work. That's fine. We got it. I would not be doing backflips and I like one of the things was I said to them, I was like, I just want to go running. And my one of the doctors said, please don't do that. He goes, because the bouncing is going to jack you up. You are doing too much with this injury, honey. You really are. You had a child fall on your head. I'm not sure how that happens. But you had a child fall on your head. So you're doing too much with the injury. Be more gentle with yourself, because I am concerned that you are causing more injury to yourself, or like what I did. I have the ruptured disc, and from my posture when I'm working, from kind of the tension in my life, from I scrunch up my shoulders, and I have all kinds of knots that run across my shoulders that are pain injury refracted. So the original cause is the slip disc, but now I've got all these other related injuries. So sometimes, and my lower back is getting weird. So they're treating my lower back now. I had needles from stem to stern when I went to stem to stern. When I went to acupuncture yesterday, my acupuncture, I had them in the back of my knees. I had them in my butt cheeks. Like I had needles everywhere. So I want you to be more careful about how you move yourself. Also, I want you to do the treatment at home. So if they've said to you, I can see you, Carla. I see you. So if they're telling you ice and heat, rest, Advil, Tylenol, paracetamol, whatever they're telling you to take you, I want you to make sure that you follow that. So if ice and heat make you feel better at the end of a long day on your feet, do that. Make sure you do that. I'm wondering if they are going to eventually recommend a surgery. That Queen of Swords is a surgeon, so they may say you need to go in there and do a little bit of action. So the good thing is it puts you back, it sets you back to rights, and you're able to move better in the future. The rehab will be quicker at that point. So they need to kind of set something back to where it needs to go. So I hope that helps you, my darling friend Juanita. Darling friend, all my darling friends in here. So guys, I am going to wrap us up with that. I am going to take the cards down, hide my Carla. Look at this. Carla, we can see you. I can see you. I can see you, Carla. So we are going to go over to the general audience live. I may do a little bit of a costume change. Yeah, you need to take it slow, Juanita. And then like I said, I think they may have to go in there and tinker a little bit. We are all going to go over to the general live, but I need to get a delicious cup of tea so that I can stay awake. We also have friends and family performance with the marching band today. So we're going to go over and see that a little bit later. And then I think I am going to jump into bed and snuggle with my husband. Or can we snuggle? I think
We could try.
Trevor Cat MC, Trevor Cat Mouse, what did I say? Mouse Chaser?
Not tasty.
Mouse Chaser. I think he would like to snuggle. Trevor Cat Mouse Chaser was snuggling on my lap last night during movie time. I was like, I have been chosen. None of my cats snuggle with me. And Trevor Cat MC is my new ginger buddy. He's my ginger buddy. So are you jealous, Greg?
So the rumors are true then.
The rumors are true. Now I need a cat named Dave Murphy. Dave, I'm going to name one of the new kittens after you. There's one that's very spicy like Trevor, and there's one that has kind of a smushy face. He looks like a little cuter. He looks fake. So I one of them, I'll name one Dave Murphy. Love the Dave Murphy cat. Oh, by the way, Dave Murphy, I don't know if I told you this. The kittens that Gandalf and Trevor Cat MC, their sister, they named her Pickles. So their sister is now a Pickles, like your dog. Lucky this is private. They would clip that. Maybe I should clip it and just give it to them. I'll just email that over to them. So mods, I want you guys to buckle up, coffee up, because we're going into the general live, and who knows what the behavior is going to be like over there. So I will see you guys on the other side. Thank you so much for being subs, and more importantly, members, because you guys are some of the grease that makes this machine go. I appreciate each and every one of you. Mods, thank you so much. Carla, thank you for all the love. Carla. I'll see you guys over there. Thanks again. And ta-ta. Oh, you know what? I have a video. I have a video for the end of it. So thank you so much.